Well, it definitely does look like the FBI needs all the help they could get today trying to figure out what's happening, as of course there were now a number of attacks that happened on American soil, but yet the FBI still can't put these pieces together.
Oh, would you look at this?
Yeah, well...
Would you look at that?
Yeah, there's a few more blemishes on the car.
Oh, my God.
Ha! I wonder who's responsible for this event. Incident. Call it what it is, as the latest revelations of what we're getting right now and all the information coming together, connecting the dots between the Las Vegas incident and now the New Orleans incident with other threats out there, according to U.S. politicians, is something that should be absolutely taken seriously, and I will argue that our American authorities are definitely not doing that.
This is not a terrorist event.
Yeah, as the juxtaposition here really tells you everything you need to know about the state of America, as the governor of Louisiana has just declared a state of emergency as local, state, and federal authorities are descending on New Orleans as they were just actively looking for other improvised explosive device, as the FBI New Orleans office just had a recruitment event a couple days ago which prioritized not the most capable, not the smartest, not the best police officers out there for the job to be federal police officers, but they hired people just based on the principles of diversity. Yep, you heard that correctly. The country's under attack, and we got a whole bunch of diversity hires that aren't the most qualified for the job leading the charge here when it comes to addressing all of these larger incidences that are unfolding right now in an extremely fast pace. As of course, what did you expect from these types of FBI agents? As we're also getting information from local news reporters that they were actually the first ones to show up at this suspect's home before any local and federal police officers were even there. As we have to ask ourselves, how did the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, that spies, tracks, and databases every single piece of communication that happens within the United States, how did this extremely powerful, bloated, big fat bureaucratic government with unlimited funds, unlimited money, unlimited spying apparatuses, how did they once again fail to prevent or even detect a planned terror attack on New Year's Day in one of America's most iconic cities, when we're also finding out this guy that was responsible for the New Orleans attack left a lot of clues and symbols out there that anyone could have caught, as he was literally uploading videos promoting radical jihadism and also, you know, just murder and death. You would think someone online saying he's going to do this is someone that, you know, you would try to prioritize and focus, as it's important to note here that the Federal Bureau of Investigations have set their sights, especially under the Biden administration, on fellow Republicans, as they have gone after parent-teacher school conferences and pro-rights activists. As we have to understand, the FBI now fully investigating this means that the likelihood of us getting any kind of justice here is going to be very rare, as their investigations into the Las Vegas incident didn't give us any clear answers to what was really going on here, as now we're finding a direct link between today's New Orleans attack that just as of 1 hour ago already has updated the total death toll to now 15 people, as we're finding out that the vehicle that was used in that incident was used through an online sharing app called Turo that allows you to rent other people's cars. As we're finding out that that was the same exact app used for this Tesla Cybertruck that also had an explosion right outside of Trump Tower. This, as U.S. Senator Kennedy is now even suggesting that there's even more ongoing threats against the American people domestically here inside of the United States.
The final question here for not just people in Louisiana that are watching, but people coast to coast that are watching tonight. Are you getting the sense that there's any threat of any other potential attacks tonight on any other major cities?
I can't answer that. I can, but I won't.
Is New Orleans safe tonight?
Yes, but we're still in the process of tightening up security. We're still in the process of doing everything that we possibly can. The governor's called out the National Guard. We've got more FBI coming. We've got Homeland Security people. We've got state troopers who've done an awesome job. We've got the NOPD. We're doing everything we can. But like I say, there's a lot of information out there. Some of it's accurate.
As why the hell not inform the American public about what's really going on here, as there have been a lot of really suspicious actions being conducted by the intel agencies of this country, as the intel agencies were the ones that just overthrew the Syrian government and allowed these radical Islamists to now have another stronghold that, of course, they will now be recruiting and building out of. They did a very similar thing to Libya. The intel agencies also have been flying drones all throughout this country. Something is up, something is afoot here, and the way that this year, 2025, has just kicked off with an ISIS terrorist attack and a cyber truck exploding with its driver inside of it outside of Trump Tower really does make you kind of question, holy freaking cow, this is one hell of a start of a new year, as I think this is meant to send a larger signal that there's going to be a lot more of this moving forward, as it's still only just 19 days away until Donald Trump takes office, as his presidency hasn't even started, and there's already a lot of chaos, symbolic chaos, especially amongst his strongest ally, Elon Musk, who just came out on social media and says that he has confirmed that the explosives inside of that Cybertruck were, quote, caused by a very large firework and or bomb carried in the bed of the rented Cybertruck and is unrelated to the vehicle itself. All vehicle telemetry was positive at the time of the explosion, as his team was investigating all of this, as the Vegas police chief just gave us new details about this larger Cybertruck explosion at Trump Tower that a lot of people saw, a lot of people reported, and automatically were correlating with what was happening with New Orleans.
Area, a valet of the Trump International Hotel. Very quickly thereafter that, the driver, who was the sole occupant of the truck, we saw what looked like maybe some sort of smoke, and then the truck exploded. I'm going to lean canisters. They are camp fuel canisters and large firework mortars. On that video, as you see that, it looks like the exterior of that truck is completely intact as it sits there. The fact that this was a cyber truck really limited the damage that occurred inside of the valet, because it had most of the blast go up through the truck and out. In fact, if you look on that video, you'll see that the front glass doors at the Trump hotel were not even broken by that blast, which they were parked directly in front of. You can see that in the video there.
As the low IQ jihadi really didn't do his homework there. And luckily, the Cybertruck is a lot tougher than a lot of people expected it to be. This, as we're finding out, according to some sources, that the vehicle was rented in the exact same company and name as the electric truck that was also used in New Orleans. This, as the matter is so serious that Joe Biden even decided to address the nation, as of course he refused to take any questions, and he literally walked out of his own press conference very abruptly before, of course, saying this.
Additionally, we're tracking the explosion of a Cybertruck outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Law enforcement and the intelligence community are investigating this as well, including whether there's any possible connection with the attack in New Orleans. Thus far, there's nothing to report on that score at this time. I've directed my team to make sure every resource is made available to federal, state, and local law enforcement to complete the investigation in New Orleans quickly and to make sure there is no remaining threat to the American people.
Are there any kind of remaining threats here? Well, the question is at large here, especially now with a lot of these radical Islamists having a very comfy home and all the latest and greatest military technology that has been given to them in order to overthrow the Syrian government, which they just did with the help of American intelligence and, of course, your tax dollars. As images like this are what some people are describing as the perfect metaphor of us heading into 2025, as we are finding out that this lunatic in New Orleans was inspired by ISIS and was an American U.S. military veteran. As we're also finding out that he recorded disturbing videos right before the attack where this guy literally talked about his plan to take out his family. As in the video, he was describing how he was called to join ISIS, as there were now multiple videos of this lunatic literally pronouncing what he was going to be doing. And the intel agencies just, oopsie daisy. Oh, look, a white guy defending himself. Oh no! That right there is your Federal Bureau of Investigations. Kash Patel cannot come soon enough. As we're finding out that this guy became a radical jihadi and converted to Islam and has been acting, quote, erratically in recent months as he had limited contact with some of his family members. There's now some news reports saying that he had no other assailants with him, others saying that there were others. We're still finding out those details as they're breaking, as we're also finding out that this guy lived in squalor with sheep and goats. Cue a lot of jokes that I will not be making for this particular broadcast, as we also found out he had a criminal record and probably was, quote, on the radar of the FBI that just once again missed out on this larger opportunity to, of course, keep America safe. As right now, a lot of people getting their information on Twitter are the ones who are the best informed out of all of this. I don't usually do a video now. I decided to do a video because all of these latest updates are too critical not to connect the dots on, as this story is fast moving, it's developing, and it's probably not going to be the last kind of story that we hear, especially in the run-up to Donald Trump becoming the next president of the United States. As we are finding out that Americans being able to defend themselves is absolutely key, crucial, and important, and that's one reason out of many reasons why we are doing a range day for our members of LukeUnfiltered.com exclusively here in South Florida on February 1st. Knowing how to defend yourself, knowing what to do during a time of crisis is more important than ever, and that's something that we are going to be going over February 1st here in South Florida. We also got a lot of other meetups. We do nature hikes. We do a lot of really cool stuff. We got a lot of amazing plans to help you connect with your fellow man and woman all through LukeUnfiltered.com. Click the link right now in the description. It's less than 20 cents a day and allows us to continue our independent media organization, our operation, which needs your help now more than ever, desperately. Trust me when I'm telling you this, we're not doing good. There's a lot of underhanded things happening between me and the IRS that are not fun to deal with. We need your support. Sign up right now, and we give you 6+ exclusive videos, plus meetups, plus seed oil cards, plus crap list items at the supermarket, plus 3 master classes. You name it, we got it. All exclusively on LukeUnfiltered.com. I will see you there with a special message just for members. Stay tuned for more here exclusively on YouTube.com/WeAreChange.